I have an idea.
Oh god, another YouTuber thinking he is screenwriter. Oh, here we go.
Now hear me out. Now this video is pretty much, it's an idea. Like it's kind of like a what if, but it's kind of like a pitch. I want to pitch a Spider-Man 4 movie. Hopefully it does well, and maybe I'll do maybe like a part 2 or something. You know what I'm saying? If you like that, let me know, or I'll catch y'all at the end of the video. Let's get on to it.
Alright, so we opened off the movie with Spider-Man. Pretty much it's a montage of him swinging and fighting crime, pretty much doing his thing, but there's something about this Spider-Man that's a little different. Obviously, some time has passed since the events of No Way Home, and he's dealing with the repercussions of the spell that he asked Doctor Strange to cast, obviously to make the entire world forget that Peter Parker and Spider-Man have a connection. And I honestly, I want to explore that in this video, to be honest. I want to explore the fallout of everything that went down, starting out with his school life. Of course, he swings to his campus just a hair too late. He just missed the bell. And so he's getting to class a little bit late. He sees Ned and MJ in class, and miraculously they have the same class. I know, right? Movie convenience. And the entire class period he spends trying to get the attention of MJ. And of course, out of respect for the class, he keeps it to a minimum, you know, maybe every now and then shoots her a glance, or maybe even just openly tries to speak to her, but of course, they're in class. And by the time the class period ends, he sees Ned and MJ surprisingly close. Closer than they were before, if you catch my drift. And obviously, Spider-Man is like, okay, well then, I probably shouldn't have left Ned in that coffee shop. No, I'm kidding. So, out of frustration, he goes out after the campus school day has ended, and he goes out to swing again, trying to clear his head and find some distractions from even the possibility of someone making a move on his precious MJ, let alone being Ned. So he swings off to the distance, and of course he hears sirens going off. He's like, okay, another crime, he's gonna stop it. And he actually encounters an upgraded Shocker, and surprisingly does pretty well. Shocker, I mean. The fight lasts pretty wild. You know, his suit gets battered up slightly, but not too much. He still has to get used to the fact that it's not Stark tech. His suit is more, well, it's a lot more vulnerable to damage. And he's obviously now realizing that. And so after he ends up taking care of Shocker, he hangs him up, leaves him for the police. He thinks about leaving a note, but he realizes how childish that is and says, those days are behind me. And so he swings off. But in the distance, there was a scorpion silhouette watching his whole battle with Shocker go through. And of course, he is very interested in his round 2 with him after the whole ferry incident a few years ago. Scorpion has now been driven darn near insane because he hasn't had a chance to have his revenge on Spider-Man after what he did to him. And so he teamed up with Kingpin and got his hand on some illegal Stark tech to hook himself up with some, of course, Scorpion-like enhancements.
Pause!
And when the Kingpin asks him in the process of designing a suit, he asks him, why a Scorpion? And he says, well, let's say I have my reasons. And so he carries on with the designs and leaves the more technical jobs to the Tinkerer, because of course he's still in play. So he hooks him up. Then, fast forward to another school day, Peter swings in, and of course, same old usual, except now we have a new student named Harry Osborn. And this sets a chord for Peter for obvious reasons. He realized that name has some significance to him, and he doesn't want to just leave this stone unturned. And of course, he's like, I thought Norman said that there was no Oscorp. There was no Harry. Maybe he meant that Harry was different in this world. He really takes into everything that happened with the events of the movie that, you know, prior to this experience, of course. And he's getting more frustrated without how the days go through. Like, as the days go by, Peter's getting more and more frustrated and more angry, and it's starting to bleed over in the field. The DailyBugle.net actually likes to make reports on the fact that Spider-Man is doing very well cleaning up his own messes. And of course, Jameson is loving the fact that Spider-Man is a bit more violent. But one day, Peter realizes he may be a little too violent. He's realizing, and he actually harkens back to the words of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man telling him he doesn't want him to end up like him. And so he actually stops being as violent. He doesn't want to become a darker version of himself. He still wants to be that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So a lot of parallels with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in this one, obviously. So he takes one more swing for the night and realizes he's being followed. His spider sense goes off, and it's a lot heavier than usual. And before Peter even realizes it, he's entangled in a scorpion tail, and he sees this mechanized scorpion, and of course he's confused. He's like, "Who are you? I've never seen you before." And he's like, "My name is the Scorpion. We've met intimately." And so of course Peter still has no idea, and he's kind of just sick of people just automatically knowing who he is. Of course he doesn't know that he's Peter, of course, but he's getting sick of this type of situation. If you know, you know. So once again he says, "I am so confused. What do you want from me?" And he's like, "Honestly, I just want to kill you." And so he throws him off the roof, and of course Spider-Man swings himself back onto the building, of course. And in these midst of this battle, it's pretty heated, not gonna lie. It's pretty intense, actually. But of course Spider-Man gets the upper hand, but only slightly. Scorpion shoots some poison in the face of his mask, and of course it erodes it, setting a plot for him to recover his suit materials in the shop. You already know that's gonna be in another video. So after that, Scorpion disappears, and Peter, of course, is confused and realizes that he has to repair his mask because half of his mask is darn near exposed. So he sets off to fabric stores, of course. And of course, after that, he repairs his suit. The suit gets repaired. Everything seems to be fine until he hears a noise in his room. Of course, he thinks nothing of this noise, and he just goes on about his day fixing his suit until he accidentally nods off. And of course, we all know what's going to happen here. A very similar scene plays out. And of course, we enter the Black Suit Spider-Man. And I'm going to end this video off here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. And if you want a part 2 to this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah. Alright, man, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Let me know your favorite part of the video in the comments below. Let me know what y'all thought about my ideas in the video. And yeah, I know there's gonna be a lot of haters in the comments, but hey, you never know. Maybe we can agree to disagree. See y'all later.